Hi, I'm Suzy Davidkhanian, Vice President of Content at EMARKETER. And joining me in our New York studio is Piper Donnelly, Account Director at Awin. Hey, Piper.
Hi, Suzy.
I'm so glad that you could join me today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
We're going to dive into a topic that's near and dear to my heart, how Gen Z is shaping digital buyer growth and the role affiliate and referral marketing play in connecting with this generation. So Piper, let's get started. Talk to me a little bit more about what makes this generation so much more digital first.
Gen Z shops online and spends more time online than any previous generation, which I think is obvious, but they spend about 25% of their day consuming digital content, and a large portion of that is on social media. And on social media, they really kind of seamlessly integrate shopping into their digital habits and routines. They're really looking to their peers for inspiration, especially with purchasing inspiration, as well as, creators that they like, friends, family. So we actually see that about 50% of Gen Z starts their shopping journey on social media. So instead of going, to Google or to a brand's website, they're going to TikTok and typing in, for example, best running leggings and looking at what their peers are saying. And that's how they make their purchasing decisions.
And that's so different from previous generations.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and it makes sense then that trust is so important for them and they really lean into their friends and influencers that they trust. How does that manifest itself on the path to purchase?
Because Gen Z is so online and so digitally savvy, it's really easy for them to spot when something is genuine and when it's scripted or paid for. And they really lean towards, those genuine, authentic recommendations. That's why they're so reliant on their friends or family or creators that they trust to make purchasing recommendations for them. About 40% of Gen Z looks to their friends and family when making purchasing decisions. Gen Z trusts creators 40% more this year versus even just last year. So it's just an example of how much social media is growing and how referrals are becoming even more and more powerful.
Right. And I mean, you hit on a word that we talk a lot about, which is authenticity. So we all scroll on different platforms. What happens? How do you make it go from just endless scrolling to someone that actually stops and checks out the reel or the post or the pin or whatever it is?
The giant influencers who have millions of followers or celebrities are not actually as effective as they once were, because at least with Gen Z, because they know that anything those huge celebrities or influencers are promoting, they're being paid to do so. So they really trust the more micro or nano or mid-sized creators, and they trust their recommendations. They know what those creators like, and that's why they follow them.
And then it catches their attention, and then often Gen Z even becomes a referring person, right? And so what types of rewards do you think help them go from, a scroller, a stopper to an actual referral person?
One way that we've seen that's really effective is through a technology partner called Soretto. So how it works is essentially a Gen Z consumer will purchase from a brand. Post-purchase, the brand will give that Gen Z consumer an offer to share with their friends and family. So it will say, thank you so much for your purchase. Share this 20% off discount with your friends and family. And if they purchase, you'll also receive a discount on your next purchase. So it's really effective because the Gen Z consumer already knows that they value and really like the brand, so it's authentic to them. They're sharing it with their friends and family, a lot of potentially other Gen Zers who value their peers' opinions. And then those people are going to purchase from the brand because they have a discount code and they trust the first Gen Z consumer's recommendation. Ann Summers ran a campaign with Soretto and Awin, and they saw actually over a 300% uplift in conversion rate and a $15 ROAS with that campaign. So it just really speaks to the power of referral marketing.
Yeah, which is like a newer version of word of mouth, right? It's kind of amazing.
Exactly.
And you tap into this fandom. Once a Gen Z person has loved a product, bought the product, is referring it, you guys are tapping into that energy. Are you seeing brands thinking about that in other ways too?
Gen Z is all about convenience and personalization. One thing that's extremely important is to have a streamlined shopping experience for Gen Z in order for them to come back and continue shopping with a brand. So For example, having a mobile-first strategy and really robust tracking and making sure that if a consumer, for example, is shopping on LTK and they click on something and it goes to the brand's app for them to then purchase, if that is not super easy and fast, then Gen Z might fall off. Right now we're seeing about 70% of all e-commerce activity is happening on mobile devices. So it's really, really important to make sure that that shopping journey is streamlined.
Absolutely. And it sounds like there's a lot of technology that powers that frictionless experience on the back end. So Piper, we know affiliate marketing is really important. How is Awin helping facilitate brands to get into that?
Affiliate marketing is really powerful just because we can connect brands with creators, and that's obviously such a huge growing industry right now. But the other benefit for brands is that it's really low risk. It's performance-based, so you're only paying when a sale happens. So for a brand, it's really an efficient way to drive performance. We release new technologies, tracking capabilities, insights, different reports on a quarterly basis every year. So we're constantly providing both our brands and our creators and publishers more tools to better drive performance, make more informed decisions, all of that great stuff. As we talked about today, influencer marketing, creator marketing, referral marketing, whatever you want to call it, is exploding and it's not going anywhere. So we've developed an influencer management services portion of our team who advises our brands on how to best work with creators, how to grow that side of their business. And then we also work with the creators on how to best work with the brands. So that's been a really great growth area for brands. And then Awin has over 80 technology partners that can just easily and seamlessly plug into a brand's website and automatically power basically any e-commerce challenge that they're having. And just given the rise of demand for personalization and convenience from consumers, especially Gen Z, and that's really due to the rise in AI, these technology partners are becoming more and more important for brands to work with to best meet consumers where they're shopping. So we're really encouraging brands to work with those types of partners as well.
Thanks so much for joining me today, Piper.
Thanks so much for having me, Suzy. I really enjoyed being here.
Me too. It was a really great conversation. Today's interview was made possible by Awin. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.